All right, so to keep us on schedule here, I'm going to turn it over to Dan. You ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go. Thanks, Carrie. And thanks, everyone, for joining today's Miradi Share demo. So Miradi Share is available at miradishare.org. And when you get to the landing page, even before logging in, you're going to see overall high-level overview of Miradi Share. And one of the key purposes of Miradi Share is to achieve better collaboration, both among team members working on a project team and with stakeholders, to improve projects and achieve more effective resource conservation. In addition, Miradi Share helps combine related projects into higher level programs, making it easier to track project and program performance and improve program management. Miradi Share also has really powerful searching and reporting functions that enhance cross-project learning for both practitioners and funders to discover best practices. The Get Started button is going to allow you to create a free account to browse public projects, and any place in Miradi you can go to the Help menu to watch some short videos and additional help getting started and step-by-step instructions in working through projects. You can click on the Projects tab even if you're not logged in, and it will bring up a table with public projects listed in it. If I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that there's 457 entries in here. You'll see later in Carrie's presentation the benefits of having an organizational license to Miradi Share, but it's also beneficial to have one of the free accounts. I've set up a separate account not tied to the Nature Conservancy organization for this demo, because what I wanted to do was to demo and have things look exactly the way that they're going to look when you create a free account and browse project records in Miradi Share. So as I go to the bottom now that I've logged in with my free account, there's 641 entries down there. So there are a number of organizations that have publicly posted projects, and you can see those by going to different programs in the menu at the top. And there's also a Conservation Actions and Measures Archetype library, or Camel, and this is something I'll touch on at the end of my presentation. We could look at each of these programs or go to the community library, which is where all users can upload and share projects even if they don't have an organizational license. But I'm going to stay in the all projects default mode right now. So it's easy to change the look and feel of the project table list. So you can change the number of rows per table. You can see controls for paging forward and backward. You can move any column to a new position by just dragging it. If you go to an edge of a column, you can change the width of columns. So it's easy to change the look and feel there. You can sort by any of the column headers. I've clicked on the latest activity date, and it's brought the projects that were updated most recently to the top of the table. With hundreds of projects to browse, you want to take advantage of some of the searching and filtering capabilities of Miradi Share. For example, if I use the search field at the very top and I typed in the word Kenya, it's going to look for the word Kenya in any column or row, and it's picking it up in the country column over here for a couple of projects, but it's also finding a third project based upon Kenya being listed as part of the project name. You can also search within any of these fields. For example, if I'm looking for a project and I can only remember that it had the word Valley as part of the project name, I could type in Valley and it will filter the list down to the 11 projects that have the word Valley in that. So it's easy to use those search fields. In addition to these text search fields, there's a powerful filter capability that you can filter on common taxonomies of habitats, threats, and actions, and some other fields that you see listed here. For example, if I wanted to find projects that had a threat of oil and gas drilling, I could click on that category, click on Apply, and it's going to search that list of 640 projects for projects that had the threat of oil and gas drilling as one of the common taxonomy entries. And if I scroll to the bottom, you'll see that there's 27 of them. When you look in the project access column, the ones that have public are fully available to look at the details in Miradi Share, and you can even download those projects to Miradi Desktop. If it has team or organization or program, you're going to be able to see some high-level content in Miradi Share, but you're not going to see the richer project data or be able to download unless you've been granted access as a member or partner of the project team. When you're using the filter feature, be attentive to the reminder at the top because it won't go away. It'll stay there until you clear it. It's very easy to clear the filter using that control. I'll do one more filtered search, which we'll use to actually go beyond the search and look at a project record. In this case, I'm going to go to conservation actions and look for projects that have species reintroduction as part of the work taking place. So I'll click on apply there, and it will bring up a list of, we should see a list of 5 different projects in total. They all have public access, as you can see here. And if I look at the bottom one, I could read a description of the project by clicking on the little eye icon over on the left, and could read a little bit about it if I'm browsing, or I can go directly to that project record by clicking on the name of the project. And that's what I'm going to do now, and it will take me to the landing page of that project. If the project team has uploaded images, you can scroll through them using these scroll controls, or it will advance them automatically in a slideshow mode type of a fashion. And you can see on the left, there's a project description and overall project status. You can see the project team members on the right. There are a whole bunch of simple dashboards that correspond to things like target viability and target threats, or the status of the implementation of different strategies that you see over on the left. You can explore more details about this project by using the Explore pull-down menu. For example, if I go to Associated Files and Links, you'll see that there are 2 PDF files that I could download and look at, as well as a link to a website with latest news about this project. If you go to Factor Summary, you can pull up a table that's going to allow you to view the details of any of the individual factors in Miradi Share. For example, if I wanted to look at threats, I could just start typing threat and it would filter by that factor type. If I wanted to look at details associated with, in this case, reintroduction, I could just start typing that text and it's going to filter it down, in this case, to an indicator name, and you can see the details there. You can view any of the diagrams that were created in Miradi Desktop. Miradi Share will show both the situation analysis conceptual model and results chains. And if I click on a results chain, it will zoom it in. If you have a mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out that way, or you can use this control. If you're zoomed in close on a big diagram, you can also just left click and drag to pan, and you can download full-size image of the diagram as well. If I clicked on the viability assessment table, it will bring up a rich table with key ecological attributes, indicator rating, that kind of information in it. This is a table that has the ability to turn columns on or off by using the show hide columns. I'm just going to turn a couple of these off just to make the display a little bit cleaner. And as is true in any table, you can sort it by clicking on the target, or in this case, I'm clicking on the first column, but it will sort it. You can view the content in tabular form, but you can also, again, click on the eye icon, and it will bring up a dialog box that has a more paragraph view of the data, the indicator ratings. If there's measurement data, you can look at it in either a list form, like what you're seeing here, or you can click on the chart icon, and it will bring up a change over time type of a display, like you saw there. Because this is a publicly accessible project, I could download the file by clicking on this link. It will actually open Miradi Desktop for me and allow me to import the file directly. I'm not going to do that right now just for the sake of time. If I go to the Edit pull down, I can go to a timeline that will show me if the project has been checked out. It also shows me a history of the different times that different versions of the project had been edited and checked back in. If I was a project team member, I'd also have additional controls here for checking in and checking out the project myself. So it's very easy to manage this from a multi-user perspective. We're going to switch now from a project perspective to a program perspective, and I'm going to go to Bush Heritage Australia as the program that I'll demo today. First thing I'm going to do, though, is just clear that filter. You'll recall that I reminded you that you need to do that if you're filtering, so I want to get back to that, and then I'm just going to click on Miradi Share to go back to the program landing page for Bush Heritage. So like the project page, there'll be a set of images if you've uploaded them on the top. Over on the left, you'll learn more about the overall program, and there's a whole bunch of project metrics that apply at the program level. We're looking at the last activity date for 68 projects here, and you can see that this is a very actively managed program by Bush Heritage because 90% of these projects have been updated in the last 6 months or sooner, which is great. Over on the right, they're taking advantage of a report highlights feature to make it possible to look at portfolios of projects, either organized by region or Aboriginal partnership in this case. You can also go to the portfolios by clicking on the Explore program and going to the bottom link here. You can see that there are many different kinds of program level reports that you can access through this menu, but you can also make it easier on your users and front load those onto the program highlights. For example, I'm going to go down to progress reports by region and open up just one example of this in a chart view. This is an example of progress reports by strategy. So these are the different projects that occur in that portfolio. If the project name is long, you can use hover text to display the whole thing. This is a drillable dashboard. So if I click on these bars, which right now show the overall progress of the strategies, if I click on the first one, it will allow me to drill down, and now the strategies for this reserve are listed down the left, and you can see the status of activities by color code represented by the bars. And if I click on one of these, for example, rabbit control, it will show me the activities grouped by those different progress status ratings. Let's check out one additional report at the program level. I'm going to go down to the project threat summary report. And as this opens up, I'm going to click on the column that has a count of the different projects just to get the threats that are most frequent. This one affects 12 different projects. And you can see the color-coded ratings and scroll to the left and right to see all the individual projects. This allows project staff to find others dealing with the same type of threats and network with them on coordinating and testing the different management actions. The last thing I wanted to demo was just go to the Camel Archetype library. This is an open source common actions. You can read more about the basis of Camel. I'm going to go directly into the list of projects, and we'll scroll down to one of the examples, detection and arrest patrols. These are based on the IUCN CMP common taxonomy. You can see a little bit more detail here. I'm going to go straight to the diagram view because I want to show you that the Camel library has both a high-level standard results chain, kind of a generic one that's been set up, but then they also include some specific examples. So if I zoom in on this one, you'll see a more detailed theory of change, and it has illustrative objectives and performance indicators. So you can download this and use it as a starter set for your own projects. And we encourage you to contribute to additional examples to the Camel library as well, and there's instructions for that on the program page. So that completes my demo. I encourage you to go to the Miradi.org website. You can go to the community tab. There's a really helpful self-guided tutorial. It's really the best way for you to learn how to use Miradi Share, and then all of the videos and user group meetings, including one from February and one that Damon will post later today from both this session and the one that's happening about 12 hours from now. So with that, that's the end of my demo. Looks like I have 2 minutes to spare.
Great. Thanks, Dan. It looks like there's 4 questions here, and I think we can answer them all live. So let's just try and do that. So Dave Kramer asks, are languages other than English supported in Miradi Share?
Damon, do you want to do that, or Warren? I think that you can use the regular Google translator to switch it, but unlike Miradi Desktop that's available in 16, kind of full support in 16 languages, I think it's just via web browser translation. Is that right?
This is Warren. Yes, to date it's all our work has been in English. We're still building out the site and giving it capability. More languages will come on down the road, but right now we're really in its youth and development.
Okay, thanks, Warren.
I have another question that I'm going to read off, and I'm going to punt it till Warren's update. So Warren, maybe you can address this in your developer update. Charles asks whether or not there's an API yet for Miradi Share to allow establishing links between Miradi Share data and other organization-specific databases. So can we punt that till your session? Could you answer that at the end of this meeting?
I can. What I would say right now is that yes, there is, and it's really customer specific to address what needs they have.
Great. Okay. So Francisco asks, are you able to track progress in portfolios, and do we have to update or enter updates regularly? I think that goes to Dan.
Yeah, the display that I showed of the progress reports, it definitely is a portfolio level report. When you look at the, let's see, when you look at the progress activities progress reports, you're seeing all of the projects displayed together in either a list form or a chart form. And there's a lot of different reports that allow you to look across the whole portfolio, including some of the measures reports. So I definitely recommend checking out the Explore Program menus.
Sorry, Dan, I was kind of prepping for my own presentation. Did you say anything about the editing capability now of progress reports?
I didn't touch on that in the editing that you can do in Miradi Share. There's kind of an increasing number of edit steps that we're bringing online, so that you don't need to rely completely on Miradi Desktop. So that'll continue